magkakajowa ka in just 7 days!
God!
Iba't 7 years na, wala pa din. Misleading claims? Learn more at asc.com.ph.
Ad Standards Council for Responsible Advertising.
Catapult Digital is a global digital marketing agency. We set ourselves apart through collaboration with our partners, not competition. From simple digital media placement, our driver's success has developed new services in building an e-commerce ecosystem. From market research, web tech and app development, search ad marketing, community management, and creative and content production, Catapult Digital remains united with their colleagues in their collective goal to make the digital space a better place for clients, consumers, and beyond.
Magandang tanghali po to everyone, especially to our dear PANA advertisers and brand builders. Welcome to the 7th General Membership Meeting of the Philippine Association of National Advertisers. We also extend our warm greetings to our friends from the industry and from our colleagues from the academe and the followers of PANA Facebook page. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. This afternoon, we'll be discussing how retail media, digital commerce, and AI are rewriting the future of commerce. The way consumers discover, engage, and purchase brands is rapidly evolving. The convergence of retail media, digital commerce, and artificial intelligence is creating new opportunities for brands to drive relevance, personalization, and measurable growth across the entire consumer journey. Industry leaders from Watsons, TikTok, and Omnicom Media will share how brands can unlock the power of commerce ecosystem, data, and AI to transform marketing strategies and create stronger connection with today's empowered consumer. So we encourage everyone to stay with us until the end of the session to maximize the learning experience and gain the full value of the insights, perspectives, and practical takeaways our speakers have prepared for you today. But before we proceed, just a few reminders to all our PANA members and to our industry colleagues. We do encourage all PANA and non-PANA members to take advantage of this very interesting offer from the Asian Institute of Management in partnership with PANA Brand Academy. Enroll at AIM Brand and Marketing Manager Development short course with modules flash on your screen and earn the following from AIM once you completed the course. You earn 2 units, which you can use to credit to a postgraduate certificate in marketing management. You become an AIM alumni status. You get the very awesome AIM alumni ID. And of course, receive the PANA Brand Academy and AIM certification. So the format of the class is most of it are hybrid, but there are some who is face-to-face and on-site, including your graduation. And because this is in partnership with PANA Brand Academy, we've secured a special rate flash on your screen. Unbelievable rate. I mean, something that you cannot imagine that you can get from an AIM course. Special rate that delivers incredible value for your investment. This is an opportunity you won't want to miss. So please take advantage of this exclusive offer, invest in your growth, and learn from some of the best minds in the industry at a fraction of the regular cost. This is open again for PANA members and non-PANA members. So inquire now at the email address on your screen and reserve your seat today because classes are beginning in August. So again, reserve your seat, inquire now at the email address flashed on your screen because classes starts in August. Next, global AI experts set to converge in Manila for the industry's most anticipated event of the year, PANA and CDM Brand Master Collab 2026, a landmark gathering that will bring together the brightest minds in marketing, technology, and brand innovation. Centered on the theme, The Human Edge, Brand Building in the Age of AI, this year's conference will explore how brands can navigate the rapid transformation brought about by artificial intelligence while preserving the uniquely human qualities that drive meaningful connections, authenticity, cultural relevance, emotional resonance, and strategic brand judgment. Featuring a distinguished lineup of global AI experts and respected local industry leaders, the conference aimed to inspire thought-provoking conversation and hands-on workshop on how organizations can harness AI as a powerful enabler while continuing to build brands that remain relevant, trusted, and deeply connected with the people. As AI continues to reshape the future of marketing, Brand Master Collab 2026 will challenge industry leaders to rethink what it means to build brands with technology in hand, but humanity at the core. This is happening on September 9 at the Makati Diamond Residences, so get your tickets now. For ticket reservation and partnership inquiries, please email PANA Secretariat to Eileen Lucero at alucero@pana.com.ph or simply visit our website or any of the PANA social media platform to engage with us. The Human Edge, Brand Building in the Age of AI. Because while technology can accelerate creativity and efficiency, meaningful brands are still built on human insight, emotion, culture, and connection. We encourage all PANA members to regularly check and read official PANA emails as we have been sending important communications that may require your response, participation, or your immediate action. If you have not been receiving emails from us, PANA, in recent weeks, please let us know so we can verify and update our records accordingly. As an inclusive organization, PANA remains committed to engaging all member companies on important industry matters and initiatives that may impact your brands and organizations. We also encourage everyone to regularly update your company representation with us, especially if there have been changes in your PANA representatives. This is to help us maintain a smooth and active line of communication with all our PANA members. But for all of you joining us today who is not yet a PANA member, this is your invitation to be part of a thriving community of brand builders, marketers, and advertisers who learn, share, and grow together. From traditional to digital, now AI, from self regulation to responsible marketing, from industry research to valuable insights, PANA brings together the knowledge, connections, and conversation that help shape the future of our industry. So, if you're ready to level up your game and stay ahead of what's next, we'd love to have you in our organization. Send your inquiry to email@pana.com.ph or visit pana.com.ph, and let's build the future of marketing together. Okay, now on to our session for today. It is my pleasure to introduce to you our first speaker. Jardy Adolfo currently leads brand partnership for TikTok in the Philippines, primarily for the CPG sector. He has more than 15 years of commercial, sales, and digital marketing across brands and digital platforms, exposing him to various key industries and brands of varying digital maturity. May I now turn over the spotlight to our birthday boy, Jardy. Happy birthday!
Thank you, Bobby. Hello, everyone. It's nice to be back again. Right, let me just share lang my screen. All right. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So it's a pleasure to be back again here in this session. So for today, I'll be sharing with you maybe an overview of how this whole landscape change can be a big opportunity for brands to actually maximize the different opportunities that's now present. So for this afternoon, I'll be sharing with you a full funnel overview of what can be done by brands to leverage the power of the platform, TikTok, but also in a way share how the whole landscape is changing and how you can actually win. All right. So I'll be sharing this in this session the growth engine and basically in a very top line manner how discovery can be utilized to get more purchases and drive growth for our brands. And this is powered by media, content, and the power of creators. All right. So maybe let's start with a quick question. Okay. So maybe not to answer, but if you want, answer it in your mind, or you may want to put your answers there as a chat. Yan. Okay. So is it easier or harder for customers to purchase what they want today? Okay. Who says it's easier? Who says it's harder? Okay. So mas madali na ba ngayon that you're seeing a lot more signals? Or you find it harder now kasi sobrang daming choices. It's too much to think about. Okay? All right. So if you're curious to know the answer, it's actually harder now and not easier, right? So 71% see no improvement even though there's a lot of information available. Actually, it's the opposite because there's so many things to choose from because information is so easy to get. You type something that interests you, you see a video that interests you. There's so many things that actually pull you from what you really want, or sometimes you don't know that you really want it. Yeah, and it has become frictionful, not frictionless. Pun intended. Okay, so pampagising ng konti while having lunch. All right, and it's in this landscape that we actually see both a challenge and an opportunity. No? So for all of us here, we're all marketeers. We're all in one way or another influencing the way our businesses and our brands grow. in different functions that we hold, we sort of have a model of how it is. So the whole shopper journey, the whole consumer journey, and you can put it in a funnel. That's a traditional way of looking at it. But the funnel still there. It's just that it collapsed. A very very different shape now. So for those of you who are able to relate here, no, so maybe nag-start ka sa discovery. You start there if you simplify the whole step of a shopper and consumer journey. But before that shopper or that consumer get to the action that you want them to do, which in this case, buy your product or remain loyal to your product, there's so many signals, there's so many pathways that they can go to. So they can compare, scroll, validate, try, search, share, discuss. So there's a lot of comparison now to a movie, The Odyssey. So it's like, for those of you who've watched it, you would know that from the very short supposedly journey, and maybe we can call that discovery to action, there's so many side quests that happen, no? And in those side quests, a potential shopper or consumer can actually be derailed. It may take very long for them to get to the action, or they may not get there at all because they went somewhere else. Maybe they just stayed in a different brand altogether. So the challenge now for brands is how to actually guide them and bring them closer. And in TikTok, that's what we try to do. So, given this landscape, given that there's abundance of information, we try to change the model, and that's why a lot of consumers are in the platform. It's very sticky for them, yeah. Because in TikTok, and for those of you who are in TikTok, thank you so much for staying there. We make it very seamless. No? So from discovery all the way to conversion. Okay? Because we are the biggest and maybe the only closed loop platform with this scale, we're able to utilize both the discovery portion of the shopper journey, where all of this information comes into play, using the power of entertainment, using the power of creators, using the power of brands to really give the users what they are looking for and what they want and what would hook them, and in a very guided manner bring them to conversion, because in the same platform you're able to actually convert. So it's a good mix of what makes them entertained, and in a way discover your brand, discover what your brand represents, and bring them to capture that intent through purchase. Right? And for those of you who are here and using the platform, you may have experienced a lot of boodle moments already. You would know this, yeah. And for a lot of brands, it's how do you hack? How do you make it easier for them and shorten that journey from discovery to purchase? Yep. And this is where we'll try to dissect how you can do that in a very structured manner. So, but does it actually work? Because in the traditional way, a lot of us here, maybe as a branding lang tayo, then we run all the brand launches, we look at brand equity, or for those of us here in the retail or e-com space or in the conversion side of that journey, it's all about sales. So this full funnel really work. And it actually does. So Analytics Edge, in one of the white paper that they recently released, it shows that across several FMCG brands that did the orchestration, it actually delivered the highest ROI. In fact, TikTok now delivers the highest ROI across all media channels, both digital and non-digital. So if you compare us with non-digital, the platform delivers 3.2x higher. And if you look at other social platforms, we deliver 1.8x higher ROI. And this is a combination of a lot of factors. But what's good to note here is that the platform, because of its closed loop ecosystem, is able to guide the shopper all the way to conversion from discovery and deliver the best ROI for your brands. All right. It's primarily because it enables brands to be present across the whole journey, no matter how kagulo or no matter how disjointed or how long it may be or how short it may be. We're able to still categorize the journey of the shopper across 3 stages. awareness and they know your brand, where you need to build massive awareness or to ensure that you stand out in the clutter among the different brands in your category. Make sure also that they are able to convert by purchasing in TikTok Shop. Where the magic happens and where a lot of brands have the opportunity is how to really connect them. Yeah. And I guess in this portion of the whole session, this whole afternoon, together with the other speakers later, we're able to connect this whole journey, this framework, and utilize the different insight that you can get. All right. So let's start from scroll to sales, capturing that end-to-end journey. So as I said, we are either doing very well in awareness or we're doing very well in conversion. But where the growth happens and where the next level up for the brands would be is how you can hack that middle part so that you can bring in more shoppers, more consumers from awareness, from just being aware to actually converting. Okay? So before, it was not available because there was really no way to connect the two, connect the upper and the middle. In a way, we try to create proxy metrics there using video views, for example, or engagement actions. But in the availability of the platforms in the past, this whole journey is, should I say, not complete or not fully connected because you need to transfer to a different platform for you to convert. And when you convert, it takes another platform to bring that data back to awareness. But because of the full funnel nature of TikTok, we're able to connect the two using the different data points that you have. So we're able to convert that seemingly art now into a science, something that is very repeatable and scalable for brands to execute. So, but before we dive into that, is it really important to really hack that middle? Because in the past, we might hear that okay, it's messy in the middle, so just make sure that you have awareness, and then your lower funnel campaigns make sure that it converts and it gets all the signals that it gets. And when intent is there, they will be looking for your brands. Just be present in all of the distribution points. So you may be hearing that as the principle before. Yes, it's true. It's still true now. But the level up is that there's now a platform that can actually connect the two in a very scientific way. And for those brands who tried it, the data shows that consideration, the audience that's in that middle part, they're able to convert 14 times faster than those that are just aware. Okay, and actually, 87% of consideration audience drive majority of the GMV purchases. So if you're really able to connect that attribution of where they are in their journey, no matter how messy it is, majority of those who actually convert or majority of those who buy your brands already consider them. So it's a very valuable part of our audience pool. And new consumers are actually mostly coming also from consideration audiences. While it's true that there are those that are maybe seeing your brand for the first time, parang love at first sight, diretsong conversion. But while there are instances like that, majority still would come from a very guided journey from consideration going to conversion. All right. So in TikTok, we're able to utilize all the signals in the platform in an anonymized manner and identify certain actions that would really define what that consideration is. So if you exhibit one or any of these actions that you see on the left side, you are now considered in the platform an audience that is considering a certain brand. And the more that you put the algorithm is able to consolidate all of these actions and put a weight in terms of how heavy that consideration is and serves you the right signals, the right content, and for those of you who are doing ads, the right brand content that is paid towards that audience so that you bring them closer to conversion. All right. So it's because of this scientific approach that we can repeat this and be a playbook for brands to actually utilize. All right. Okay. But the magic sauce there is that, okay, so you have those actions. But what I'm used to would be I have my standard brand campaign, I have my very polished brand asset, etc. So how do I actually make it more sticky in the middle. Because if you recall, in the different actions there that define an audience who is considering, it's a lot different from just views and being aware or just being hit by an impression. Yeah. So this is where the lifeblood of the whole TikTok platform comes into play. It's the creator community that actually drives the most effective consideration campaigns. For those of you who are maybe also creators, you would know that the platform is very authentic in terms of the content that thrives. So we've seen that it's because of this authenticity that we are carving a different path for a lot of brands. So a big question that we always get whenever we're here is, I still want to keep my brand my brand mandatories as I bring it down the funnel. Now, this is a balance that we need to play because you still have a mix of in-house content and you also have creator content that comes with it. For a lot of the campaigns that we've seen, creator content, because of the very authentic manner by which it's created, actually drives the message a lot more stickier compared to a very polished brand messaging. When I say brand messaging that's very polished, this is like your very typical awareness campaign, typical to a launch. So you have your taglines, etc. Now, so that you don't lose this brand voice, you try to connect it to the different sub communities where the different creators play. And this is now the level up that you can do so that you can really guide them from awareness to consideration and conversion without losing the key messages of your brand and partnering with the right creators. All right. Because of the different approaches that the creators make, it actually catches different types of audiences on what is actually an effective way to reach them. So it can be about a day in a life, maybe someone putting a review of your product, or just totally sharing a very good experience about it. Because of the balance of authenticity and also guidance from brands, it's a good mix to really drive that consideration and bring them down to conversion. All right, and it's been proven that TikTok creators and brands have a lot of opportunity to partner. And when they work together, it creates that magic that makes the platform easy to hack in terms of driving discovery to conversion. All right. And our creators in the platform, yes, they make you laugh. Yes, maybe some very emotional, they make you cry for different reasons. I hope because it's a happy type of cry. They teach you about things. They still dance and sing because this is where the platform started. But it's really evolved to a whole new, different kind of collaborative partnership. And it's that kind of partnership that helps brand grow in this new landscape. All right. So how do you now level up through consideration? And what I'd urge everyone listening is to actually create intently for consideration. And this is by working with creators and using the tools that we have to reach the right creators. So now, if you look at creators, they are the key to consideration. Um, if you partner with creators, actually, there's a lot of content, particularly that drives all of the actions that I've shared earlier. From searching, from viewing for multiple times, or adding to cart, it's creators that actually come into play. Now, some would be asking what's the difference between a creator and those that add yellow basket and affiliate. So it's just basically affiliate is those that drive you to your product page, or in simpler terms in the platform, those with yellow basket. Okay. Now, creators would still vary in terms of what they want to do. Some creators would really want to do partnerships. They just want to using their own brand power as creator. They want to partner with brands that aligns with their own personal branding. And some of them really don't want to be associated with any sale, etc. Some naman would really want to just go yellow basket because these are really your hardcore affiliates. They're very good at selling, no? But there's also those that in the middle, those that are trying to do both. So those that are wanting to partner with brands, but also given a good opportunity, they would also want to add yellow basket. No? So it's how you work with these types of creators, and how do you activate them, how do you understand what motivates them, and more importantly, how each of these creators align with your brand objectives and your brand equity. Those are the key to really hack this middle part and connect the whole shopper and consumer journey. Those brands that are actually very successful here utilize hundreds of creator. It's a good mix of those that are in brand partnerships and a good mix of those that in the affiliate side. The game changer is how you're able to connect key messages across in a very cohesive manner, from what your brand launch says all the way to the different conversion messaging that your affiliates also say. Okay. Now, the big question is, okay, so we work with creators. Yes, okay, check. I want to work with creators, but how do I actually do that? There's so many of them. Maybe I know a couple, and these are your celebrity creators already. These are your big creators. Okay, or maybe your up and coming creators. So how do I actually reach them? So I'll share with you two later before we end on how to really utilize the platform tools so that you can reach the right creator at scale. Okay, but more creators first. How important are they in terms of really bringing your audiences from discovery all the way to purchase? Okay, first off, creators are very much connected to your audiences. 55% of users agree that TikTok creators actually help them feel more connected to the brands. And I'd use this as a caveat that only if you have the right creators, creator partners. So if you're able to get a creator that's putting out content, authentic content about your target audiences, and it represents your brand, then the alignment and the stickiness would be far greater. Number two, users say that they want to try new products after they see a creator put them out or use them. Okay, so it actually entices more trial for them and entices their curiosity. Some of them also would search a brand after watching it in the creator. So meaning there's already consideration being planted as they work with these creators. Okay, but these behaviors are still hinged on the content algorithm that TikTok utilizes. The common ground here is that as a user in TikTok, you are served the content that you like. And this is coming from the different signals that we get from your behavior in the platform. More often than not, these content also aligns with the creator that you follow. Okay. So when you actually connect with the creators that are aligned with what your brand represents, it creates that consideration build up and brings them closer to purchase. All right. So the big question is, how do we work with creators? Okay. And this is the tool that we have. For those of you who are working with us already, you may have heard about this platform, TikTok One. If not, do reach out to your brand reps, or if you don't have one, reach out to me. I'll share my contact later. TikTok One is our all-in-one platform for creators and different creative assets to make it easier for brands to actually find the right content, whether that be inspiration, find the right creator that you need, that you can work with, or actually check how they're performing. All right. So, and this happens with just one single sign on. So in the past, all of these different tools are individually scattered. So you need to go through 3 to 5 different platforms. You need to log in again and use them separately. Now we've consolidated them to make it a lot easier. So you will have the insights there. What are the content that works, especially on your vertical or your category? It will give you inspiration, especially if you're looking at trending content, how you can hack them, how you can imitate them. And it makes it easier for your brands to partner with the creators that are featured, that are performing, or maybe those that you don't know of but are actually delivering for your category. So these are technically free tools that you can utilize to empower your brand and make reaching out to creators and creating the right content for consideration at scale. Okay, so as I said, it enables you to find the right creators. It enables you to partner and the way that works for how you actually work as a brand and as a business. And it's hinged on all of the data that's also available in the whole platform. And the nice thing here is that since it's connected to your different accounts, you will see the full impact end to end of your partnership with them and the campaign that you launch. Okay, so this is a snapshot of TikTok One. There are three modes that I want to highlight before I end. So one is if you are already working with the top creator, you can customize the way you put out a brief for these top creators. You can actually do it in the platform because most of the creators in the Philippines and actually globally are already onboarded in TikTok One. You would see them here. Okay, so you can customize, you can have a very bespoke arrangement, put out the brief there, and the nice thing is you'll be able to see them there, including the different works that they have and the different level of performance metrics that they deliver. Number two, and this is what really excites me the most, is that you can actually put out a brief in TikTok One and actually ask creators to actually try to respond to that brief. The nice thing here is that as they respond to your brief, you get to choose which one. You don't need to pay. When you find something interesting in the pool of responses based from that brief, and you spark them or you boost them as an ad, that's the only time that you pay, and you only pay through your paid advertising budget. The creators actually get paid through TikTok as we share that with them through a subsidy. Okay, and the last thing is TikTok One also enables brands to find trending videos, trending creators that are performing quite well depending on your vertical. So, for example, you don't, for example, you're a beauty brand, for example, and there's this creator video that's getting a lot of views, nagba-viral siya. And then you realize, oh, I'm not working with this creator yet. So you can actually use TikTok One to find that creator. You would, or actually TikTok One, when you go there, it will float that the trending video up, and you can actually reach out to the creator and partner with them. All right. All that you need to do is request for authorization from the creator, and once they agree, you can actually boost them and use that for your brand. So it makes all of these things easy because it's all housed in one platform versus finding a creator in TikTok, then magbi-DM ka sa kanya, diretso, and then you try to discuss it there. Okay. The good thing here is that because it's housed in one platform, it's connected to your other accounts. The performance that you see is end to end, so you can really see both paid and organic all in one view. Okay, so I will not go into detail of this one. If you want to run through, if you need a walkthrough, or for some of you who have already seen this, and you want to reach out to any of us in TikTok, please do reach out, and we'll be happy to give you a session. All right. So actually, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jardy. Always an interesting session to listen to your presentation. Of course, TikTok presentation. There's a lot of learning, definitely, that our viewers will have to harness and share when they go back to their office. Okay, Jardy, I have some few questions. You initially start your talk with discussing about the funnel, right? Um, my first question is, as a beginner, or maybe not really, maybe but for some beginners, where do we usually begin to start full funnel?
Mm. Okay, that's a nice question, Bobby. Okay, so it depends on where you are heavily leaned on now. Okay, so you may be starting from the top. So kung awareness heavy or you're focusing on brand launches, you're really looking at brand equity, market share, and all of that. No? So typically, you'd have a lot of the metrics related to reach and frequency. Yeah, so that's a big maybe starting, and so that you can categorize where you are. If you're there, start with going down the funnel by adding more efforts to consider and more efforts to drive consideration. so that the people will consider you. We've had a lot of instances where brands typically are like household names already, and they are experiencing slow growth. No? When we actually look at those instances, we see that, oh, they're very aware, but you're not bringing them down because your effort is to, again, repeatedly, and medyo redundant na, is to just keep them telling them about your brand again and again, but they already know you. The starting point in those kinds of instances would be to go to consideration, work with creators, deliver messaging that is about usage, how they can happen moments, etc., so that they bring those very high awareness already in the audience down the funnel. If you're from the opposite side naman, if you're heavy e-com brand, you start with the purchase already nasa lower funnel. You may be having slow growth because you're selling to the same audiences. You need new audiences, and that's where you add consideration also. So maybe the other speakers will supplement this in what they see. There are many ways to do this, but if you add more usage, you have creators, own the moments in the different day-to-day of your shoppers, you will be able to bring in new audiences, and that's where you'll find growth.
Guys, to all of you tuning in right now, consider that's a tip from Jardy of TikTok. There's a lot of good things that he mentioned about how to start with the full panel. Okay, Jardy, most of your presentation tackled about considering creators,
Mhm.
right? So my next question is, how can a brand work best with creators and affiliates in this new evolving landscape to drive growth?
Okay. Maybe connected dun sa sagot ko kanina, is since whether you're heavy awareness or heavy lower funnel, heavy conversion, your next wave of growth is really the middle part. Okay, and in this middle part, especially in TikTok, it's a very collaborative working environment with creators. It's a very collaborative and authentic platform also. So the best way to work with creators is actually a two-way conversation with them. In a way, you don't impose your brand messaging, your brand cues, etc. Because these creators also are brands themselves, and they are the voices within their sub communities or their sub cohorts. So, for example, sorry, I'll use beauty again as an example. If you're a beauty brand, and you want to work with a beauty creator, normally they have their own tone, they have their own language. If you try to ask them to follow your voice, they would lose their audiences, and that's the audience that you want, right? Conversely, if you're a food creator, for example, you're working with a food creator in a food brand, you don't ask your food creator na hindi naman nagmumukbang na biglang magmukbang content, right? And then they also have a way to reach out to their consumers. So it's that authenticity that actually elevates your brand to the next level because you're technically working with them. No? So working with them is a two-way street. You follow their audiences, you infuse the message that you want for the brand, and you find a very collaborative working relationship because in a way you're actually borrowing their voice in this new landscape. And the way we see it's more and more, as it becomes very collaborative for audiences, they will gain more leverage as well. So their authenticity is technically their bank account. They're both extra touch points for your brand. And if in a very sales trade marketing parlance, they're also typically your shelves. Because when you see them using the product, the audiences actually consider, and that's what we've seen in the data. So using them for branding to connect to lower funnel, and for lower funnel for new shoppers, they're really the next path for growth for a lot of brands.
Okay, with that, thank you once again, Jardy Adolfo, the lead brand partnership for TikTok in the Philippines. Maraming salamat for always being in our GMM, Jardy and TikTok.
Happy to
Enjoy
be
your
here.
birthday.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to our second speaker. Carla Cifra is the Chief Operating Officer of Omnicom Media Philippines, where she leads media organization or media operations and steers the organization's growth, agenda through data, strategy, and innovation. She's also currently served as the president of the Media Specialist Association of the Philippines, or MSAP. With over 20 years of experience, she's a seasoned leader in a data-driven marketing, sales, and creative media management, and driving growth through innovation. She has built her career at OMD Philippines, rising to general manager before assuming her current role, and has led teams recognized by leading industry bodies, including Agency of the Year wins in Campaign Asia, MMA Smartest, and the Next Award Asia Pacific. A magna cum laude graduate of St. Scholastica's College, and a master's degree holder in marketing communications from De La Salle University, Carla is passionate about developing future talent and enabling brands to unlock growth through data, technology, and AI. Let's all give a PANA warm welcome to Carla Cifra. Hey, Carla.
Hey, hello. Hi, Bobby. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. All right. So, yes, thank you, Pana, for giving me the opportunity to be here again today and to be a part of a very exciting discussion. No, so as Jardy has laid it well a while back, in everything about commerce, shopping nowadays have become harder because of so many options available to choose from. But at the same time, I would like to add that actually both easier naman for those who have embraced the shift, because we are actually again witnessing one of the biggest shifts in marketing and consumer behavior since the rise of digital advertising itself. So the way we see consumers, tayo, how we discover products, evaluate brands, and make purchases is changing faster than ever, no? At a click pa lang. So today I would like to also share what those changes mean. We've heard a lot from TikTok, and it's actually one of the biggest drivers of how we're shopping right now, and what we're seeing across APAC and how brands can actually prepare for what's coming next. So on your screens, next slide please. Yes, for decades, and narinig niyo rin to a while back, marketing operated around a traditional funnel. And this is actually where we all begin when we do our plans. Saan na nga ba tayo sa funnel? We always ask that. Consumers become aware, have considered the options, and eventually make a purchase. And this process was very and relatively predictable. But today, and I agree with Jardy, the model is breaking down. Hindi siya nawala, it is collapsed, as he put it. So, a consumer may discover a product on TikTok, watch a review on YouTube, ask an AI assistant, mamaya punta tayo sa AI, no, for recommendations and compare options of our favorites, Shopee and Lazada, and other retail media to complete the purchase, all within a few minutes. So we have discovery, consideration, conversion are no longer separate stages. It has collapsed. And more so, AI powered recommendations are also removing the predictability of our journey as consumers. We are being increasingly guided toward choices that are actively searching for them. So the key takeaway here is simple. The traditional funnel is something that no longer accurately reflects how modern consumers shop. Some, but we have to embrace it that it goes into so many different ways. Because on the next slide, we see that instead of a funnel, we are moving toward a flywheel. And we have actually shared this concept most to all of our clients. That historically, even our objective was to drive consumers towards a transaction. Today, the transaction is only part of an ongoing cycle. So the goal is click. When consumers purchase, share experiences, and review products and repurchase, these generate signals that influence future consumers and future recommendations. So In this environment, success is not just about closing the sale. It is about sustaining a momentum as we have flashed on screen, creating that momentum that continuously fuels discovery, growth, and advocacy. So, if we are to further evaluate what would be at the center of the flywheel, still naman, it is the consumer intent. And that every interaction would actually generate more data for us. And the more data, the better system we develop. So every click natin, every purchase, every review that we find, every search and engagement helps improve the future recommendations and experiences for brands because discovery, engagement, recommendation, purchase, advocacy, and repurchase continuously reinforce each other now. And what's also changing is that media, CRM, retail media, and AI are no longer operating independently. They're becoming connected systems, which is why we're able to have a data driven personalization together with the integrated digital ecosystems. No? So the brands that are winning today are those that are organizing around consumer intent rather than around the channels or internal structures. The channels are still important, the structures are very much important, but as to how you would put it all together into driving that consumer intent is key. So, more so, what we feel right now is that the consumers are not necessarily thinking about channels all the time. San ba ito makikita or whatsoever? What's first and most important right now is they think in needs, wants, and moments. Now, what is actually driving this transformation? So, on the next slide, we would be seeing the three major forces that are driving this transformation. No? First is, as we've mentioned, retail media, because retail media is giving brands that direct access to already the high intent consumers that are very close to point of purchase. Second of which is in our one of our favorites right now that we have been discussing through and through, AI at scale, because this enables prediction, personalization, and optimization in real time. And third is embedded commerce, because where purchasing happens directly within social platforms natin, streaming services, mobility apps, and even conversational interfaces. So together, these forces are blurring the lines between seeing an ad and completing a purchase. So again, the result is a commerce ecosystem where influence, one, and transaction increasingly happen simultaneously. So what we're seeing is that the brands that align capabilities around these three forces, again, retail media, AI at scale, and embedded commerce, can create more personalized experiences. And as consumers, this is naman what we've always been looking for. Is it relatable to me? Diba? Significant. How it speaks to us. This improves actually our media efficiencies and connecting our advertising investments directly to business outcomes. So, retail media is no longer an emerging trend because retailers are evolving beyond their traditional role as points of scale. No, it has now become a major advertising channel. And what you are seeing on screen right now are really huge numbers that show how they have grown and how it has affected our lives. It has become of our lives. So it has become a major advertising channel globally and locally here, no, sa Pilipinas. Because we're seeing billions and billions of dollars, of pesos being reflected towards retail media because it provides something that marketers have always wanted. And what is that? That direct linkage between our media investment and the actual sales of outcomes. Now, we started small and it is continuously growing. So, unlike before, parang sa Amazon lang ba to, the growth is no longer limited to the retailers of like Amazon. Travel companies, delivery platforms, payment providers, and mobility companies have all come together, becoming commerce media platforms. And the definition of retail media is expanding rapidly. No, retail media increasingly serve as both as an advertising platform and a commerce engine at the same time. So we are in a very exciting state because we're in APAC, Philippines now. Why APAC matters the most? Next slide, please. Because APAC is not just a regional opportunity. No. APAC is seen as the most important region right now for understanding the future of commerce. Because as we can see, unlike before, many of the innovations that the world talks about today are already the everyday behavior across Asia Pacific. Our region accounts for, if you may be focusing on some facts on the screen, our region accounts for actually nearly half of the worldwide retail media revenues and serves as a leading innovation hub for social commerce, for super apps, for mobile payments, and AI enabled shopping experiences. So in APAC, we have, of course, markets such as China, India, Japan, let's not forget South Korea, and even Australia. They all exhibit that unique but highly advanced commerce ecosystems. And more so, the region actually combines mobile first consumers, super app ecosystems, and advanced consumer adoption, and rapid AI integration. So, historically, what emerges in APAC, no, nagkabaliktad na. Historically, it's US now, historically now, in the past 10 years. What emerges in APAC often becomes now the global standards a few years later. So that's why we're now being called the region that is able to be a living laboratory for the future of commerce. And that is something really big news and good news for us because commerce is now embedded into our everyday life. And I think one of the biggest advantages that we have is the rise of super apps. No, we have GCash, we have WeChat, we have Alipay, Shopee, and Grab, and TikTok. So in APAC, commerce is not an activity that consumers go or do at a set time. It is already woven in every digital interaction, creating a richer and more contextual data environment that anything that happens in the open web can offer. So consumers now don't move between separate destinations from messaging, payments, entertainment, transportation, and commerce. They do it all in connected ecosystem. So whether you're on WeChat or GCash or Alipay, Shopee, Grab, or TikTok, these platforms generate rich behavioral data and create seamless consumer experiences. And commerce becomes a part of our everyday life rather than a separate activity. So this creates a level of consumer understanding that traditional web environments simply cannot match. So, retail media, AI at scale, because on the next slide, we see that AI is fundamentally altering our shopping behavior. AI changes how consumers shop because AI can identify our needs, recommend products, compare alternatives, personalize offers, and facilitate the transactions. And consumers are actually increasing their trust into these algorithms. We may not know it, but we feel it. No, we trust already the algorithm, yung nire-recommend sa atin at some point. And because of this, our options are being narrowed and actually accelerates our decision making. Kaya siya naging flywheel na we're already convinced we're there and we will make that purchase. And retailers and marketplaces already use AI for forecasting, audience segmentation, inventory management, even their pricing, how they organize, and how to even provide better customer service. So lahat yan. So what's happening now is that consumers are moving from I will search and I will find it to I will ask and I will just receive it immediately. So instead of sorting through these pages of options, consumers are increasingly relying on AI to recommend what is most relevant. And the decision journey is now becoming faster, more personalized, and often just invincible. We just really feel it, which makes it a lot of convenience from our end. So for brands, that this represents actually both an opportunity that we can grab and a challenge, because if AI becomes a primary advisor, the brands must ensure that ano they are part of the recommendation of what AI would deliver. Top of mind ka rin ni AI. So, as AI capabilities improve, shopping journeys become more predictive and personalized, individualized. Brands that effectively integrate AI into consumer experiences can actually enhance relevance, increase conversion rates, that's what we want, and build stronger consumer relationships through more meaningful recommendations and interactions. And so, there's so much about AI, and as it further penetrates into our system, another major development we're beginning to see is the agentic commerce. It is actually already a live infrastructure reshaping how consumers happen. It is not a future concept. So on click, in this model, consumers simply define their intent, and then the AI agent then discovers the products, compares, identifies promotions, and even completes transactions. That the consumer is no longer managing every step of the business. The agent becomes the shopper all at the same time. And this may sound futuristic, but actually, it is increasingly becoming our reality. So, yes, so as we've mentioned, agentic commerce is already here. What's important is that we understand that agentic commerce isn't a future scenario. It is happening, it's not a concept, and many of the foundational systems are actually already live today. Now, large platforms are developing commerce protocols that allow AI agents to transact directly with brands and retailers. And we can see this in our messaging apps. We're already seeing measurable commercial impact from AI assisted shopping and AI powered search. And the pace of adoption is actually accelerating rapidly, particularly in commerce ecosystems. So, a while back, we've heard from Jardy about TikTok, and alongside TikTok, there is also Google's closed loop now. So, next slide, please. Google showcased earlier this year, about January in 2026, the major retail AI innovations, including their Universal Commerce Protocol and Gemini enterprise tools, no, their AI. So Google now combines deep personal context from services like search, Gmail, YouTube, even their photos, and more importantly, si Gemini with commerce capabilities. So this creates a powerful closed loop for them between understanding consumer intent and fulfilling that intent. So for customers, this raises an important strategic question. It is no longer about whether brands anticipate this in the ecosystems. It's about determining how they participate and how they would remain visible with them. So, with all of this coming together, where do we now see the new competitive battleground? Yeah. We see it in recommendation equity. Kung ano to, no? So in the past, brands competed for share of voice. At the left side of your screen, we call it the era of broadcast, no? What is my SOV? How loud can my brand speak? And then we entered And then we competed to another era, the era of digital, for share of search. How well does your brand rank? And now we're entering the era of share of recommendation, of which we call the recommendation equity. The question is no longer whether consumers can find your brand. The question now is whether AI systems will recommend your brand before consumers even ask. Kasi nga, there's an algorithm already in the ecosystem. And this recommendation depends on data quality, the product information that we load in or where we are present, customer experience, loyalty signals, and so many things pa in the ecosystem that we can participate. So this will increasingly become a critical source of our competitive advantage. And because of this, AI powered commerce is something that leading brands, as we can see, um, have benefited from using AI across their entire commerce ecosystem. They're moving from periodic optimization to real-time optimization. From left to the right screen, this is how actually we have been developing and moving from reacting to past performance to predicting future intent, which actually helps the brand how to make it better for the consumers. And from focusing solely on media metrics towards on business outcomes such as sales growth, such as ROAS, and the lifetime value. So the performance gap between leaders and laggards is widening because AI allows the organizations to make smarter decisions continuously. And so, how should organizations respond? So, we developed a simple framework and we want to call it, as our topic would say, Commerce Rewired. Rewire, for R, it is to recognize the signals by integrating the data. E, embed AI throughout the organizations. W, work across silos. Connect media, commerce, analytics, and real partnerships. I, integrate measurement around the business outcomes. R, redesign journeys around consumer content. And most importantly, experiment continuously. So the future is evolving too quickly for static strategies. So organizations must be able to build a culture of learning and adaptation. So, um, just to cite what winning APAC brands are currently doing. So, the most successful brands across APAC actually share several characteristics, and this is what we want to share, no, and make it happen here in the Philippines, of which we are actually doing as well. We connect data, loyalty, AI, retail media, and commerce into the ecosystem. We view and they view retail partnerships as strategic relationships rather than simply distribution channels. And they understand consumer intent, not internal structures that would be driving the marketing strategies. Click. Yeah. So, and the winners are building these systems, not isolated campaigns. So, to cap it up, we have five predictions for the next 3 years. No, so let me close with the five predictions. So, number one, retail media will become one of the world's largest advertising channels, projected to reach about $200 billion, accounting for 27% of the global digital spend. And that AI agents will become our major discovery and shopping interfaces. Third, commerce media will expand into travel, mobility, payments, and entertainment. Actually, it's already here now. Recommendation systems will become as important as search. No, we have discussed about um, recommendation equity, and geo is making this happen. And measurement will increasingly focus on business outcomes and the incrementality of it. So the future we discussed today is not years away, no? It is already unfolding. Parang nung when we all started with digital advertising, it has actually been living and breathing, and brands that start adapting now will have a significant advantages. So, and that those that wait, tingnan pa natin, baka may iba pang developments. No, start now because we might just find ourselves trying to catch up in a marketplace that is moving so fast, faster than ever before. So, as I conclude for today's session, and again, thank you, Pana, for having us, we'd like to leave you with one final thought. Commerce is no longer about simply about selling products. It has evolved. It has become into an interconnected system where media, tech, AI, and commerce work together simultaneously to shape the consumer's decisions in real time. And the opportunity for brands is just really enormous. No? As Jardy mentioned, there are so many options, but succeeding will require new ways of thinking, new capabilities, and the willingness to rewire how we operate. No? So there. That's actually the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Bobby?
Thank you very much, Carla, for that very comprehensive and learningful presentation. I still remember listening to your Brand Academy presentation about Charmaine. So, anyway, back to our
Hi.
topic. Okay, Carla, I have a couple of questions for you. So
Yes.
the first one is malam Miss Universe question ito. So if AI increasingly becomes the consumer first advisor, what will matter more? Being seen, being searched, or being recommended, and why?
Yun nga, recommendation equity, as we've mentioned a while back, being recommended is now a key important strategy, no? It's something that we should be really building on because of, yun nga, for decades, brands have competed for awareness, no? And then for search visibility. So with in the era of AI, brands will increasingly compete for the recommendation. And it is not only, we know naman we've been searching, ganyan, but the algorithm actually will push your brands, no? And this is already something that is already an acceptable behavior for us. So recommendation would be my answer now in this time of AI at scale.
Okay, pasok ka sa top 3. Very good answer, Carla.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me ask you my second question. Wearing your media hat, media agency hat, Omnicom media hat, how is Omnicom Media helping clients, various types of clients, small, medium, SMEs to big clients, navigate this whole journey?
Mhm.
I know it's not easy.
Yes, definitely. No, but yeah. So what I have just shared is that top of mind is that we make sure that they are very much connected. Now we're helping the clients navigate this transformation in I think three key ways. So first is connecting everything, no, media, commerce, and more importantly, si data, as we have it in media agencies. Historically, media, commerce, and CRM and customer experience, lahat yan, as I have mentioned a while back, it all operates separately. But now we're trying to help clients connect all of this disciplines into a single ecosystem. No? We have created dashboards, we have created all those linkages so that they can better understand the consumer's intent. So whether consumers are discovering the products, second is whether consumers are discovering the product on social or in marketplaces or on in other media networks, we help our clients navigate through this and connect this to a view of a consumer journey. And then, of course, updates on through the consumer journey is we have continuously worked with them in different work streams. So that's how we have been continuously helping our clients.
All right, with that, thank you very much again, Carla Cifra, the Chief Operating Officer of Omnicom Media Philippines, another suki of our PANA GMM. Maraming
Thank you.
salamat ulit,
Thank you,
Carla.
Bobby.
All right, introducing to everyone our third speaker for today, Angelo Carpena, Senior Manager for Retail Integrated Media, leads the offline plus online end-to-end of Watson's Philippines across multiple touchpoints. He also leads Watson's newest amplification initiative, Optimo, which will allow brands to amplify campaign in an optimal level using different Watson's assets. Jello has been working in marketing for over 10 years now, with expertise in e-commerce and digital marketing. He previously worked for pharmaceutical companies like Abbott and Zwedig Pharmaceuticals. Friends, let's welcome our third speaker, Angelo Carpena. Good afternoon, Angelo, or Jello.
Good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for inviting me, Sir Bobby, and good afternoon to the PANA members, to the advertisers, to the marketers, and I'm so happy to be here. Okay, so good afternoon. Very good discussion so far, and I like the sequence because right now, what I will be sharing with you is somewhat connected with what Carla was discussing a while ago about retail media. So you might wonder what can be done in retail media, and so my presentation will give you some insights, some best practices, some actual implementations and usage of retail media in the last 3 months, which I hope not just the advertisers, but also the media agencies here will get inspired. Because on the onset, I can tell you right now that for Optimo, you can work with your media agency on all of your placements specific to retail media. But before I begin with my presentation, let me show you a video about Optimo. Next slide. Okay. So yeah, I think the video, what our intention is that just echoing what Carla said a while ago, is that retail media is going to be also part of the future in advertising. And I can tell you right now that we see that in one of the most advanced market here in globally, which is in China. And we're seeing that, from our experience with our partners being part of AS Watson's, we're seeing that there's a great need for our advertisers, for our brands to do retail media because that is really where our shoppers are already at. And so just echoing what also Jardy was saying a while ago, that here in Watson's, in AS Watson's, we recognize that the consumer journey is already chaotic. And what do we mean by this? That there's so many triggers that sometimes you already don't know and cannot fully identify what stage is your shoppers at, or are your shoppers at. But what is clear is that they still make those decisions in purchasing and making that final transaction. And so in Watson's, our goal really is to have an offline plus online approach with every touch point optimized to convert. Next, please. Next. And so what do we mean by this? And so, we are still a retail company. And so we don't have the luxury to, take the customer or the consumer from from upper funnel to lower funnel to mid funnel, paikot-ikot. Our intent really is that every time that they see a product that is available in Watson's, we immediately optimize the touch point to conversion. And so we have so many assets, we have so many touch points, not just on online, but also on offline. And so the goal of where our company is heading to is that every touch point should be optimized for conversion. And whenever we have a discussion or conversations with our brand partners, we have this three, let's say, strategy that we want them to apply specifically for Optimo. And that is number one is high impact visibility. And why do we mean by this? Is that leverage or utilize our many assets, both offline and online, in communicating your brand. Sorry, can you go back to the previous slide? Second is drive experience. So it's no longer about engagement and educating about your product. It's actually making them feel special by providing them with personalized experience. And the third one is you need to do smart marketing, while leveraging on our first party data with our assets such as our Watson's online app that captures around over 100,000 of visitors on a monthly basis. We have 11 million Watson's Club members. So whenever we have a discussions with our brands, with the P&Gs and the Unilevers and the likes, we always say, number one, let's do high impact visibility, let's drive experience, and let's do smart marketing. So again, my presentation is more of best practice sharing and actually giving you a glimpse of some of the discussions that we had in conversations with some of our partners in executing some of our Optimo initiatives in the last 3 months. So first off, what do we mean by high impact visibility? Next slide, please. So use our store. That's what we always say for our offline high impact visibility efforts. We have so many areas in our stores where you can actually do your placements, communicate your brand campaigns, do some educational efforts. And so this is really what our aim for the store to be in the next few years. It's a hub for your advertising efforts. So you can see here we have a brand called Cells and Blue. And so they utilize the hanging mobiles to communicate their new variant that is available in Watson's. We see here that an exclusive brand, Skintific, utilizes our storefront in creating very special and unique, extraordinary executions. And we can tell you right now that all of our main screens and also our cashier screens that is available in over 500 stores are all ready for placements. And you can see here an example from one of our campaigns for Dove. So high impact visibility, yan ang lagi namin sinasabi when it comes to our brand partners. Hindi na enough sa atin yung maglalagay kayo ng wobblers or maglalagay tayo ng simple flyer or A4 tent cards. If you want maximum and optimized conversion, then this is something that we highly suggest to our brand partners. Next slide, please. So how do we translate high impact visibility? So with Watson's OP or our own Watson's app, OP means own platform, you can actually dress up and take over the store. So some of the examples are, the recently launched Dr. G, which is an exclusive product in Watson's, but already has, a high recall in Korea. And so what we recommended to them is take over in our Watson's OP or Watson's app for a certain period of time. And so with that in mind, we hope that, recognition about your brand will uplift or will increase as well. And so similarly, this is another version for Skintific, another exclusive product. And store takeover tayo kasi what we want is not just a simple banner that is available in one of the areas in our offline, in our online store, but taking it over in the homepage and including some of the features of the app as well. So, like our push notifications, our splash ads, the ones that you see before logging in our Watson's OP. Next slide, please. And so when we talk about driving experience, so two ways. So it can be both offline and online. So do sampling, as you can see here, one of the examples from our Skintific efforts. So in exchange for a minimum purchase, you will get samples There is also an interactive booth that was implemented by our partner Colgate, wherein they showcase the value and also the benefit of the new purple pump variant. And what we always say is that experience doesn't necessarily have to be offline only. How can we translate experience online? Is we can do it by creating activities that is targeted and more personalized. So one example here is that another initiative for Dove is that we selected certain categories of audience and we targeted them and provided them with free discounts and samples. So in a way, there's still that experiential, personalized approach, but we're doing it online. Next slide, please. And lastly, remarketing. So the goal here is that let's leverage on our first party data, as mentioned a while ago. That's really where the power of Watsons is. We have over 11 million Watsons Club members that we can target via email, text, and even on social media. Because as you know, with Meta right now, we can already upload first party data and talk to them in the different channels that is available in Meta, like Instagram and Facebook. So what we always encourage our partners is that let's not just do a simple remarketing efforts. Let's use data as a backbone in doing this to make sure that what we do and everything that we do are all efficient and will give us a proper conversion. Next slide, please. Okay, so basically this side will just explain to you the different assets that is available for everyone to take, I hope, that is within the Watson. So let's say your objective is awareness. So you can rent out our window displays, our in-store screens, and conduct social media paid campaigns. And let's utilize our offline and online assets for a higher ad recall. If you're at the stage of consideration, what we can offer to you is let's leverage on our Watson Club members, our Watson's app and web visitors. In this way, you can have direct communication with high intent shoppers already. If your objective is really on decision, let's do experiential offline booths, or maybe let's do Watson's online targeted promotion to educate and engage potential brand users. And lastly, if you want to really capture your audience, we can do some last mile conversion. We already have cashier in-store screens. We have self-checkout screens and Watson's Club remarketing. This will give you a stronger nudge to your customer for full conversion. Next slide, please. Okay, so why is Watsons optimal? So this is the regional number. So we have 170 million members with 5.5 billion shoppers. We have 30 million transactions a week with 1.1 billion online visits and 145 million in total social media fans. This is across the AS Watsons group. So I have the last two slides. So why again optimal is that we have our 100% owned first-party data, and I'm talking about our Watsons Club members' data. We have a broad mix of online and offline shopper data, and a data bank that is constantly refreshing and up to date. So what do we mean by this? So based on every transaction that we get on a monthly basis, our first-party data also get refreshed. It's based on transactional, behavioral, and lifestyle data. And of course, what you can expect from us are insights. Next slide, please. So we provide you depth and breadth of insight across customer journeys with unique understanding of highly engaged health and beauty shoppers and focus on customers with high growth and spending power. So the key takeaways here is that we, as mentioned by Carla a while ago, is that retail media is should be an important, I guess, part of your advertising mix. And so I hope that my presentation allowed me to show what you can do and what assets you can utilize specific to the Watsons offline and online assets. Thank you. So yeah, if you're open to talk to us and work with us.
All right. Thank you very much, Jello, for that interesting sharing, especially the optimal of Watsons. So I have two questions for you. My first question is: we all know, naman, that the shift in shoppers' behavior happens very quickly, happens very fast. So how is Optimo adapting to it?
Yeah. So our mandate is that we should be 100% accessible, and we start with making sure that we have the channel where they can purchase. That's why we're building our own Watson's app, because we know that the consumer has shifted their shopping behavior. And we also make sure that our stores, our offline store, is still there. We have over 1,300 stores, and so by making sure that we're still 100% accessible to our shoppers, we're ready to adapt to that consumer shift, behavior shift.
Interesting. But on the side question, if you're from the brand, this question has always been asked. How do you measure the success of Optimo?
Yeah. So for Optimo, we have specific metrics and KPIs per customer journey level. So let's say your objective is, let's say, awareness. So by utilizing our window displays, our in-store TV screens, we can provide you numbers similar to foot traffic that will give you a gauge of how many really saw your ad. And of course, for other levels of the consumer journey, let's say consideration, we will be providing you with click-through rate and others important metrics or data that can help you in your future campaigns.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Angelo Carpena, Senior Manager for Retail Integrated Media of Watson's Philippines. We hope to have you once again in our future GMMs.
Thank you.
All right. So once again, thank you to all our three speakers. Now, to share the key takeaways for our session for today, please welcome PANA Board Director and PANA GMM Co-Chairperson, Puff Vargas. Hello, Puff.
Thank
Good
you,
afternoon.
Bobby.
Are you feeling
Afternoon.
better now?
Yes, yes. Finally, my voice
You
is
have your
back.
voice back. Correct.
Yeah,
All
all
right.
right. So, good afternoon, everyone. Let me quickly give my key takeaways for the three speakers' topic this afternoon. So, let me start with the topic that was shared by Jardy. We saw that in Jardy's sharing, he did mention that today's commercial reality is very clear. The shopping is getting easier for our consumers. It's getting more complex. We saw that the traditional linear sales funnel hasn't just evolved, it has actually collapsed. Discovery, comparison, and action now happen almost simultaneously. And and the biggest untapped opportunity for marketers today lies in the middle of the funnel, which is consideration. And while most brands spends heavily at the very top or the very bottom, TikTok data shows that consideration audiences convert up to 14 times faster and drive 87% of total purchases. And to be able to capture this, TikTok measures consideration holistically across 12 plus real consumer behaviors, from video views and shares to add to cart actions. And to trigger this high intent consideration, the answer is creators. Creators contribute 55% to brand consideration because they build genuine connection, and wherein 62% of users report being more willing to try a product after seeing creator content. To make scaling these partnerships frictionless, TikTok presented TikTok One. It is an all-in-one platform that finds the right creators, manage campaigns, and measure end-to-end impact. In summary, by leveraging creator-led content, targeting mid-funnel consideration, and utilizing our integrated shop journey, TikTok serves as a complete growth engine from discovery to purchase. Our second speaker, Carla of Omnicom Media, slide please, illustrated how commerce is being rewired today. And essentially, what we're seeing is that the old funnel is breaking. It's a similar message that was shared by Jardy when they both mentioned that the funnel has actually collapsed because people don't move step by step anymore. Discovery, consideration, and purchase now happen in one continuous loop, often with the same platform and sometimes within minutes. Commerce is no longer a destination. It's embedded everywhere, via social, payments, mobility or entertainment, and now even AI assistance. And this shift is being powered by the three forces working together. We saw in Carla's presentation that retail media gives us high intent audiences right at the moment of purchase, with closed loop measurement that ties spend directly to sales. Digital commerce makes transactions frictionless over super app ecosystems where people already spend their time. And AI stitches everything together, predicting intent, personalizing experiences, and optimizing every touch point in real time. Within these three, Within this, the three converge. These create a self-reinforcing flywheel. Every interaction becomes a chance to learn, improve, and convert. And for marketing, this means moving from channel planning to orchestrating intent, delivering continuous, personalized conversion moments wherever the consumer is. So as marketers, we need to rewire how we do things in this time of connectivity. And lastly, the presentation done by Jello on Watson Optimo, we saw that what we're seeing is that consumers no longer separate offline and online. So very consistent key takeaways that we got from the three speakers. No, the funnelless collapse is now an environment where people actually cannot separate offline and online. No, they move fluidly across both, making small micro decisions at every moment. And those micro decisions add up. People convert not because of one big touch point, but because every small moment feels consistent, clear, and easy. This means designing a unified experience where offline triggers and online reinforcement feel like one flow. It means showing up in high impact moments where attention is naturally high. Ultimately, the shift for marketing is simple. We move from channel planning to moment orchestration, making every touch point, offline and online, work together to make conversion effortless. I hope you found the insights presented by our three speakers very valuable to how we do things now, and I hope you were able to glean meaningful takeaways from our speakers sharing this afternoon. Let me turn over the floor to Bobby.
Stay healthy and hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not in most of the meetings
Thank you once
lately.
again. Yep. Thank you very much as well to Catapult Digital, our official live streaming partner for our PANA virtual GMMs. Requesting all of you still watching today, please scan this QR code to share with us your thoughts about our session for today and suggestions for our upcoming GMMs. Again, please scan this QR code to share with us your thoughts about our session for today and suggestions for our upcoming GMMs. Attention to all PANA members. I'm sure you're very interested to get a copy of the speaker's deck. We will be sharing those in our FYEO folder 1 week from now. So watch out for it. Again, to all PANA members, we will be sharing the speaker shareable deck within 1 week from now in our FYEO folders. So please watch out for that. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. This is your PAN Executive Director, Bobby Simborio, encouraging all brand builders, advertisers, and industry leaders to shape the future of advertising and brand building with truth, responsibility, and purpose, leveraging on technology and innovation to create a society that is informed, compassionate, and trustworthy. PANA members, see you all on August 27 for our very first face-to-face on-site GMM at Microsoft Office in One Ayala. Again, PANA GMM, PANA members, this is exclusive for all of you. We will be having our first face-to-face GMM on August 27 at the Microsoft Office in One Ayala. So please watch out for our official email and communication on how you can register. Special shout out to PANA Board Director Chuck Hanolino, who celebrated his birthday a few days ago. Happy birthday, Chuck. Wishing you good health all the time. And of course, to Kuya Ray and Eileen of PANA Secretariat, who is celebrating their birthdays. Happy birthday, guys. Let us all remain united in prayer. for peace in our country and the whole world. Good afternoon and God bless everyone.